Imagine a bustling German town square in the year 1902, or streets of Bradford, England, in 1850 and 8. The streets are alive with the sounds of chatter and laughter, the clatter of horse-drawn carriages, and the occasional bark of a street vendor peddling their wares. The air is filled with a sense of community and the promise of a bright future. Children laugh, eager to receive brightly colored candies from a street vendor. The vendor, a kindly old man, hands out the treats with a smile, enjoying the happiness he brings to the little ones. A young couple strolls by, sharing a sweet treat, their faces flushed with happiness. They walk arm in arm, whispering sweet nothings to each other, their love as fresh and sweet as the candies they share. The air is thick with the aroma of sugar and spice. Stalls are laden with an array of confections, from sticky toffees to delicate marzipan, each one a testament to the skill and creativity of the local confectioners. The market is a feast for the senses, a place where the everyday worries of life are momentarily forgotten in the pursuit of sweetness. But this joyous scene holds a sinister secret. Beneath the surface of this idyllic setting, a dark shadow looms. The very candies that bring smiles to the faces of children and adults alike are hiding a deadly secret. These sweet treats are laced with a silent culprit. The confectioners, either through ignorance or malice, have used ingredients that are not only harmful, but fatal. The vibrant colors and enticing flavors mask the presence of toxic substances, turning what should be a source of joy into a harbinger of doom. Within hours, the laughter will turn to screams, the joy to agonizing pain. Children will be doubled over in pain, their faces contorted in agony. Parents will watch in horror as their little ones suffer, powerless to help. The streets that were once filled with laughter will echo with cries of despair. The candies that were eagerly sought after and cherished will be discarded in fear and disgust. The dangers can lurk in the most unexpected places. And this is not a scene from a Gothic novel, but a terrifying reality for many in Germany or England. The townsfolk, once united in their love of sweets, will be torn apart by fear and suspicion. The sweet treats that were once a source of joy will become a symbol of betrayal and hundreds of deaths. According to the Oxford English Dictionary, the first recorded use of the English word arsenic was in 1310. It was mentioned by Geoffrey Chaucer in his Canterbury Tales, written in 1386. But later, what changed during the 19th century was a drastic increase of additives used in the industrial preparation and packaging of foods. In the US, government chemist Dr. Harvey Wiley takes on food manufacturers to banish dangerous substances threatening the health of consumers. That was the initial attempt of laying the groundwork for US consumer protection laws and the creation of the Food and Drug Administration. Everything was about food safety. But before food became safe, according to the federal food and drug laws, the newspapers will be filled with stories of the tragedy, the headlines screaming of the horror that has befallen these mentioned towns. The names of the victims will be etched into the collective memory of the community, their lives cut short by a simple act of indulgence. The town will mourn the loss of their loved ones, their hearts heavy with grief. Memorial services will be held, candles will be lit, and prayers will be said for the souls of the departed. The community will be bound together by their shared sorrow and determination to prevent such a tragedy from ever happening again. But what transformed these innocent treats into instruments of harm? The story is as shocking as it is tragic, revealing a dark chapter in the history of confectionery. The answer lies in a toxic combination of dangerous ingredients and lax regulations. During the early 20th century, the lack of stringent safety standards allowed harmful substances to infiltrate everyday products. Arsenic, a potent poison, found its way into the very heart of the confectionery industry. Confectioners, often unaware of the risks, used arsenic-laced dyes to create vibrant, appealing colors in their sweets. In those days, arsenic was a surprisingly common ingredient. It was not just limited to candies. Arsenic was found in a variety of products, from household items to agricultural supplies. Used in everything from pesticides to paints, its deadly potential was poorly understood. People were largely ignorant of the dangers, and the substance was handled with little caution. Confectioners, in a bid to cut costs and enhance colors, unknowingly employed arsenic-laced dyes in their creations. These vibrant hues made the candies more attractive to children and adults alike, but at a grave cost. The unsuspecting public, especially children, consumed these toxic treats, unaware of the poison they contained. The consequences were often dire, leading to numerous cases of poisoning. Medical professionals of the time struggled to understand the sudden illnesses and fatalities. It took years of investigation and advocacy to uncover the true cause and push for regulatory changes. What would start as mild stomach discomfort quickly escalated into agonizing pain, vomiting, and diarrhea. The symptoms were relentless, leaving no room for relief. Hospitals and clinics were overwhelmed with patients. The arsenic, silently weaving its way through their systems, attacked vital organs, leaving victims weak and disoriented. Doctors were baffled. Public outcry eventually led to stricter regulations and the banning of arsenic in food products. This dark period in history serves as a stark reminder of the importance of food safety and regulation. In the most severe cases, the poisoning proved fatal, snuffing out lives and leaving families shattered. The loss was profound, with entire communities mourning the untimely deaths of loved ones. Newspapers were filled with alarming headlines, and public gatherings became forums for desperate discussions on how to combat the invisible threat. Today, the candy industry is heavily regulated, ensuring that such a tragedy never happens again. The vibrant candies we enjoy now are safe, thanks to the lessons learned from the past. Scientists and public health officials worked tirelessly to identify the source of the contamination. Laboratories became battlegrounds in the fight against the unseen enemy, as researchers raced against time to find answers. Community meetings were held to educate the public on preventive measures, and public health campaigns were launched to mitigate the spread of the poison. Medical treatments were administered, but for many, it was too late. Despite the devastation, people came together to support one another, rebuilding their lives and towns in the aftermath of the tragedy. The lessons learned from this dark chapter in history would go on to shape future public health policies and practices. The article, Poison in the Pot, the 19th Century Whistleblower and the Poison Squad, written by a writer Anne Asbrey, describes how the U.S. doctor Harvey Washington Wiley designed a particular menu to test the toxicity of food additives. In exchange for free food and $5 a month, these volunteers, dubbed the Poison Squad, agreed to eat only the meals served by Dr. Harvey Wiley. They agreed to a series of physical examinations after each meal, and promised not to sue the federal government if they were injured or sickened in the process. The human lab rats were 12 young clerks, vigorous and voracious. All were graduates of the civil service exam, all were screened for high moral character, and all had reputations for sobriety and reliability. The purpose of these examinations was to test the effects of chemicals in food on humans and to demonstrate their toxicity. The goal was to never repeat the experience from the past centuries when people suffered horribly. Even after Wiley's squad managed to demonstrate the negative effects of several additives, he still had to fight against the powerful food lobby. Still, the public continues to worry about pesticide residues, preservatives, genetically modified food, and food dyes. But thanks to the work of Friedrich Occam, Harvey Wiley, his valiant poison squads, and a host of other crusaders, we aren't likely to be poisoned by arsenic-dyed candy or formaldehyde-improved milk. Today, the towns have moved on, but the memory of that dark time lingers. The streets are once again filled with laughter and joy, the sweet shops are bustling with customers, and the air is thick with the aroma of sugar and spice. A sweet treat, a bitter end, a lesson learned, a tragedy remembered. The town of 1902 may be gone, but its story lives on, a reminder of the fragility of life and the importance of vigilance. May we never forget. And thank you for watching.